one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 89 of Men and John Make a Podcast. Doing it virtually this week, mainly because all my crap, the normal crap, is at my work because I'm doing live streaming for graduation tomorrow, Friday. We're recording this on Thursday. So I have none of the equipment here, as you can see by this. Uh, so so we're doing it virtually. But besides that, we got some stuff to talk about. Of course, if you're a Marvel fan, you know Loki, the series, dropped on Disney Plus on this past Wednesday. So the series is every Wednesday there. We're going to talk about that. Again, NHL playoffs. Some series in the second round are ending. Some are still going. One's was it Avalanche in Vegas right now, right? Is that what you said?
I'm sorry, Mike. Could you say that again?
I said the Avalanche and the uh,
Vegas Knights. Yep.
yeah.
And the game six, it's about to start here in about 15 minutes or so here, and yeah, and we'll get into that once we talk about hockey.
Yep, and then some NXT in your house predictions, and that is of course on Sunday tomorrow as you're watching this. So we give a little bit of that. So let's go right into start with Loki. Uh, what were your thoughts? Quick overall thoughts on the first episode?
I will say this: my expectations were really low. If I'm being completely honest, I'm just based on everything with the trailers. I mean, I thought that it would be a good show, but man, once the episode was over, I was hooked. I would say that this probably hooked me more than what Falcon and Winter Soldier did, and that isn't to say that Falcon and Winter Soldier was terrible. It's just this was just really good. We're really they're like f- from how I took it, Matt, is they're completely stripping down Loki's character. Whoever he was, this was kind of like a therapy session. It felt like for him.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like a realization, like
Right.
you don't really matter. Well, you matter, but you're not what you think you're
Right.
gonna be. Um, this really obviously sets up the multiverse. Pretty much explains that
Yeah.
the
A lot of
time
sh-
keepers.
a lot of shit was was kind of laid down here. That was another thing that was really obvious here.
I like the he gets brought to the TV. It was TVA.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and they have like old school um, video like explaining stuff. Um,
Hmm.
that whole vibe, I kind of liked it, and it just really a basic understanding of how time works.
Hmm.
It kind of explained it this episode, I think, more so in layman's terms. Like I easily could be like, okay, you do something, they can find the person, fix the timeline, and keep everything in the straight and narrow. And yeah, if you screw up, you're done. Like you're erased.
Yeah, and they show that when Loki got a ticket, and the other guy who did it was arguing with a guard, and because he didn't have.
I think didn't he lose his ticket or something?
Yeah, and he just essentially got deleted. Um, um,
Yes.
yeah, so it was just really interesting to seeing Loki arguing with the judge. He was like, "Why have you met these these time keepers or like time gods or whatever, and like, how do you know what they say is like true? And I feel like that whole arc is going to eventually find out that everything that these timekeepers were like, what was thought to be like, virtuous and everything, I think is going to turn out to be, well, it's going to be the complete opposite. um
Yeah.
there's so I'm like really interested in that, and I'm also interested to see what the whole reaction of like Loki is going to be when he sees a female version of like himself. That is going to be hilarious.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, basically that Owen Wilson's character, like, who he said, "Oh yeah, like, we like need your help to like fight against yourself," was like
Yeah.
another.
No, Loki.
Yeah, it's basically it's
That was it.
or that's what like like the girl who they casted on the show, she is a like female,
They already
a
said.
say what.
Did they already say as a female Loki, or is
Yeah.
it just assumed
No, or like it's I
or heavily
I
implied?
I I watched like comic books
Uh,
YouTube channel, and like he said, it's it's going to be a like female version of himself. So
that makes sense.
I'm really interested to how they're going to do that, because I would imagine we're going to be seeing like, multiple multiple versions of himself. So like it's going
Yeah,
to really, yeah,
because they were in what was that church in for like 15 something
France, yeah,
France.
yeah, in
Yeah,
France, yeah. And then like that person who killed all of those like t t of those TVA agents. I wonder who like that is that was.
I think that's him. That's him, because
Mhm.
that's right after it said we had to find uh, you. It was like, oh, we got to help you find
Yourself, yeah,
you,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then that scene ended it. So I
Mhm.
think that's probably him.
I would think so.
Yeah,
And like I just
that was a
like,
nice tease.
yeah, and it was really interesting seeing like Loki, just to see how everything happened in the future. Basically, him causing his his like, his like, mother's death there, to
Yeah,
basically everything that happened with the Avengers, to him eventually dying, and get, getting like, finally getting like recognition from his father. It all really hit him so fast, and like it's something you never really see from him.
yeah,
Um,
you don't see that. Yeah, uh, human side, the
no, no,
whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
right, yeah, it's just,
yeah,
and like I think
we saw a little bit, but nothing like that.
nothing like this, because he's always been the sarcastic asshole all the time, but now we're getting a more serious low key, not so much like, I mean, like, yeah, he's still a like ass, but it's like they're gonna be diving in more into more layers with his character, and to me that's something that really has me hooked. Another thing that was pretty funny though, Matt, the Infinity Stones are freaking worthless. Like, they just made it known that those things don't mean a damn thing in this like in this in
In
this universe
the
here.
TVA.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more in the TVA
Mhm.
because like they probably have people going back and trying to get them or change
Well,
time, and they're like,
supposedly too, with those stones, they don't actually work unless they are all in the same like universe. But
yeah,
since all of them are completely scattered from like different timelines, they they are just like
yeah.
they're just like, flashy shit now. They
Rocks.
don't, yeah, yeah. I'm like
And
flashy rocks.
I like how that was the point for him that that made him realize, oh, maybe this is real.
Right.
He
And
saw that that realization, like, holy crap.
yeah, and like just seeing him completely stripped down without his powers, like it was really an eye-opening thing. But like when he finally got his collar off, and he's just like just screwing with that one girl, like yeah, that was freaking hilarious.
I like how they mentioned that because he brought up the point of like, why don't you go? I think to the judge, why don't you go after the Avengers? They did all this time travel thing,
Mhm.
and I think Owen Wilson. I think it was Owen Wilson's character went like that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, that was so
That's why they
supposed
didn't
to
do
happen.
anything.
Yeah, yeah,
What you did wasn't supposed to happen,
yeah,
so we
yeah.
gotta fix it, which was nice. And I laughed because I saw this on the on the Twitter trends, but like it was Loki, and you know how it says trending also, and it has other stuff that it's trending with.
Hmm.
Uh, and I saw that I saw Cooper, and I was like, why the hell is DP Cooper trending? I laughed how it was Loki was DB Cooper because they can in real life it happened. They
Hmm.
never found the person who jumped, but it was Loki the whole time.
Hmm.
I was like,
Yeah, exactly. Like,
that
yeah,
was a
like,
good one.
yeah, yeah. They could pretty much screw the time as like they won, since they are pretty much are the timekeepers here. But man, I tell you, like, it's a really interesting arc that they're going down in. I definitely feel like this is going to be setting up two things with like Doctor Strange and like two with like with Spider-Man 3. I think that's going to be leading into that as well. So we're going to get a lot of Easter eggs and like clues
It
on where things are going to be heading there. You know.
it really kind of like really gets the multiverse
Yeah.
um, opened and
Yeah.
explained because they did mention it because I just recently saw Doctor Strange again.
Yeah. Hmm.
I watched that, and they mention it, but it was never really explored.
No. No.
They say, okay, there is a multiverse, so they introduced it, but now it's really gonna dive. And I think this is what only 6 episodes a series,
I'm not entirely sure.
something short.
Let me see.
I think I saw today it's 6, and so a lot's gonna happen. And
Let's see. Let's see. Yep. Yep. I'm six episodes. So I would imagine every episode has to be at least an
an
hour,
hour,
right? Because I think this one was like 52 minutes or something. So
including the credits.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
including
take that to like I don't know 40,
45.
45,
Yeah,
48.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like a typical hour TV show without commercials. Uh, so we'll see.
Mm.
Next week should be interesting. Seeing uh, his variant self and other universes. So yeah, I'm intrigued. Like I can't wait. This is very interesting because they say this has the most impact in the MCU than the other shows.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. And I tell you, will be very interesting to see. And I am also glad that they are having these episodes on like Wednesdays, so we can actually cover these like once they
Well,
happen.
it's good because you got that, and then you have the Bad Batch, which is probably wrapping up in a week or a couple weeks
Yeah,
on Friday. So it's good. Like you got something Wednesday, and you got something Friday.
Friday. Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So,
I
all
like
right,
the different days instead of just the Friday.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just to like change it up. So, all right, then. Now we're going to get into some hockey talk, and as I sit here, I see that Game 6 with the Colorado Avalanche and the Vegas Golden Knights is about to like drop the puck here, and man. Matt, that has been a crazy series to me. Like, especially for how bad that the Golden Knights were in Game One, and ever since then, it just seems like that they have just turned a switch, and it probably helps too that you have, I don't know, a Stanley Cup winning goaltender in that, you know.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, but a big almost shocker to me
Mhm.
is if I'm pulling this up here was Montreal. I picked the Canadians to win, but I didn't think they were going to sweep Winnipeg.
It was like it wasn't even a series. It just like it just like Winnipeg never felt like that they were ever really in the series at all. And Carey Price is just playing out of his freaking mind right now. Um, but I think the bad question is how bad does that make the Toronto? Does that make Toronto or no? Sorry, how badly does that make them
And
Edmonton look? Yeah, that they
the fans are like, "You serious?"
yeah, that they just got swept that easily that they weren't even really in the series at all. Like because games because oh, were they all really close games there, or because I want to say that at least like one of them were like were
Which series again?
um I'm like Winnipeg and like Montreal. Were they close
Um,
games or were they
Edmonton and Winnipeg.
no no
What do you mean? So far, oh no, oh
or
never
like
mind.
Montreal and like
Oh,
Edmonton.
yeah, I'm sorry. I mean,
Or like sorry, Montreal and like Winnipeg. Yeah, the series
yeah,
that
to
just
just have.
wrapped.
I'm sorry. Jets and Canadians. Game one, Montreal 5, Winnipeg 3.
Ooh,
Game two, 1-0. Game three was 5-1 Montreal, and game four was 3-2 in overtime. So
okay,
relatively close.
okay. So really outside of Game Three, it was
Yeah.
relatively competitive. But speaking of like not being competitive, especially in games 5 and 6, the Islanders and the Boston Bruins. I have no idea what the hell happened with a Boston. Like every single game up until game 5 was competitive, was hard nosed as shit. And
Well,
man,
game four. Wait, wasn't game five was a one goal? Am I missing it? Was a
game 5 they won by at least two or three goals
no.
in
Game
the
five
Boston.
was 5-4.
It was 5-4. How'd that happen? They were up by like three goals going into the like third period. I'm pretty sure.
It
Wow.
might be. Well,
But
game four was 4-1. Game six was 6-2.
okay, yeah, 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 like yeah, like 4-6 for sure. That was just a complete not even a competitive thing. But man, I just I just cannot figure out how many times the Islanders play so poorly and yet they're just in every single game. It annoys the absolute hell out of me, and it has to frustrate any team that they face because man, they could be getting absolutely outplayed and like you look up at the scoreboard, it's like it's tied or a
So
one goal game.
it doesn't feel as bad, losing to them because if they're doing that to Boston,
I know
yeah, and they're playing Tampa Bay, which
that's going to be tough to do because to me the one thing that Tampa really has over like us and over Boston is like goaltending. I'm like
yeah,
Vasilevsky is like a top three, a top five goaltender in this game. I think they're gonna find it a lot harder to like to score against him. Whereas, what I mean, like Rask isn't terrible, but at the same time, he is older. He has had a ton of like injuries, and I believe he was actually battling through a few through this series too. So, I I do think that it's going to go either like 6 or 7 games there. But man, I'm really hoping that Tampa Bay wins because I really want to see either Tampa versus Colorado or Tampa versus Vegas. To me, that would be a great Stanley Cup final there.
Yeah, and then again, and then Montreal somehow in the
Yeah.
finals. It's going to be interesting if like Colorado against Price, the Colorado's top line versus Price.
Or like Vegas against that too because man and
Montreal is somehow sneaking in.
yeah, but I think we also need to keep in mind as well. Yeah, like they beat a Toronto team, but they never really recovered after Tavares after like he got hurt, and it just like just just with their overall track record in the postseason, not exactly surprising her. And to me, beating a like Winnipeg team is going to be a lot different when you're going up against either
Yeah.
Colorado or like Vegas, and especially like Vegas and like Vegas, like as we have seen home ice for them, it means a lot, and especially in games, in especially in games like 3 and like 4, they're at in game 4, that game was just completely lopsided. Like Vegas just threw them off of the freaking ice, and like Flurry just continues just to like make big save after big save. Like it really does feel like that with Vegas that they are like destined to have a like great year, and obviously they are so far, but it's going to be interesting if they don't win game 6. Like can they win a game 7 going back to Colorado? I mean, like a part of me really wants to see a game 7 here too.
Oh yeah, and it'd be a shame to somehow. It felt like it was like Colorado's uh, destined destined to make at least the Stanley Cup
Hmm.
Finals. They just have a good team,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's gonna be this game tonight as of recording. It's gonna be interesting, and see if we're talking uh, Saturday of the game 7.
Yeah,
But
yeah, like in man, like I can't. I'm gonna be like paying very close attention to that there. So we talked about that. Obviously, Tampa they beat the Carolina Hurricanes, which like really
yeah.
outside of like one game, and even in that game, Tampa really made life hard for Carolina. I'm kind of surprised that Carolina even like won a single game. Um, against them. So like that, like you pretty much felt that Tampa was in control there. So they are now in the final, or in,
I think
in
in the Eastern Final.
yeah, in the Eastern final. So yeah, these Stanley Cup playoffs are like maybe along there. Oh, and some like piece of like broadcasting news. Did you see like that ESPN signed Kevin Weeks for their as an analyst there,
That's a good one.
and Colorado just scored 1-0.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Already.
already not even like 30 or even like 2 minutes in there. Wow, that was quick. So yeah, it's that's
Didn't even update. Didn't even start the game. That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, wow. But yeah, as I was saying, Kevin Weeks, he is going to be going over to ESPN, and I think they signed a like play-by-play guy too for like hockey, who's also on their like network. I forget his name right now, but
I mean,
yeah, they're slowly ESPN is slowly getting together their like coverage as they will be obviously broadcasting games starting for the 2021 and 2022 season. So yeah, I think that pretty much does it for Hockey Talk, Matt. Unless you had anything else to add there.
via Hextall to make history as ESPN's new NHL play-by-play voice. I guess they have a female.
Really? Okay. Huh.
First woman to hold that role. She related to our GM.
Um,
Same last name.
I wonder if that might be his like daughter or something there.
I mean, look.
Sister or sister maybe, possibly.
I don't see anything.
Okay.
Uh, Apparently, Doc was a mentor to her.
Okay. And Vegas just like tied it up.
Oh
oh,
Jesus!
oh my
That's right.
god.
I gotta watch this.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean this game is living up to the freaking hype
I'll turn
already.
it on here and watch it.
Not even like 3 minutes in. It's already two
Oh
goals,
wait a minute! I can't hang on. I can't miss this.
5 hole. Wow. That one, like, how did that get through there? Wow, wow, Grubauer never even saw that there.
Here we go.
What the
Yeah, put
hell?
on the old
What the hell happened there?
hockey stick.
Yeah, but so yeah, like you have anything else to add there on the
The hockey.
yeah.
No, come on, Rufus. Load. Here we go.
Okay, are we the last piece of things that we have to talk about here is some professional wrestling talk, and more specifically, Matt, NXT Takeover is taking place on Sunday from the CWC NXT Takeover in your house. Do you have that card up there?
I
But
do via Wrestling Inc. Started from the bottom and now we're here. We got Xia Li versus Mercedes Martinez.
yeah, I don't see a scenario where like Xia Li doesn't win here. And like,
I think she needs to win more than Mercedes.
yeah, and like to me, like Mercedes has always felt like a like a like a like gatekeeper for that women's division there over in NXT. She'll pretty much like feud like with any like up and coming girls there. So I feel like that's pretty much what is going to be happening here. Should be a pretty good match. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I like how they.
and
I'm
and
sorry.
and I gotta think eventually they're gonna be building to like Xia Li versus like Raquel at some point as well. So
I would I
if
would
it's
assume.
possible, yeah. So
I like how they tied. Ooh, I like how they tied in. I totally forgot at the Mae Young Classic, those two did face each other.
mhm,
Mercedes did win. So I glad they tied that in. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be damn. I was
mhm.
didn't even
Yeah,
know.
honestly, I completely forgot about that too.
Yeah, but that's a nice tie. I like how they tie into that.
Mhm.
Like it adds to it. Um, we got a ladder match for the $1 million title. LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes.
Yeah,
And Ted DiBiase
I
will be
feel I
ringside.
feel like this is probably LA Knight is going to like somehow win, whether it's by like shenanigans, which I'm kind of expecting shenanigans here. So
I feel like this is a yeah. Like this to me was up in the air, but I feel like this is probably like a thing to win.
right, yeah,
Versus,
because to me it's like, well, if Cameron was a heel here, I could see it happy, but him,
yeah. he got over at least with this gimmick.
Hmm.
He's got over organically with
Yeah,
like you can tell with the crowd that is there.
yeah.
Uh, and in my opinion, I think LA Knight is perfect for this role.
Hmm.
I think he's doing good. I don't. Did you watch this past week's?
No, no, I didn't.
So they,
But I did hear about the about the confrontation or the announcement and everything there.
they had the announcement, and they had like battling like two different vignettes of being at their like fancy mansions
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and houses. There, I think this was really good. Uh, to me, that's when I saw LA Knights was first. If they have
Mhm.
it like on YouTube,
Right,
I don't know if they do. I would watch those. They'll probably show them on the video package, anyways.
right, right.
But or even like on the pre-show. Um, but I thought that's when I first said, okay, LA Knight's perfect for this because he can talk. He's that cocky
Yeah.
ass,
Mhm.
and he's just like at one point he has a woman like women there, and at one point he just like kicks the women away.
Yeah,
It's stuff like
it
that.
just yeah, and
It's
that's kind of
so
how I it's kind of how I felt too, just because like it's like whoever wins that, it needs to be a heel because always as long as you go back with that title, it's always been held by a heel, and to me, it just doesn't. With Cameron, he doesn't really need that, and I don't think it really fits with the overall like story here. So I
to me,
that's
it's like the uh is it the what FTW? What's
yeah,
that Taz's belt?
yeah, yeah.
FTW. It's like that. Like the heel wears that. Is it really a title? No, but it's
No,
kind of
not
like
really.
a moniker,
It's a prop.
a gimmick.
It's a
Yeah,
prop.
it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick, but it works. And like LA Knight, like he just fits that cocky.
Yeah.
Like I said it before, I think it's good. So yeah, I'll go with LA Knight
Hmm.
for that. Then we get the winner take all 6-man tag match for the North American and tag team titles with the challengers Legado del Fantasma, which is Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, Raul Mendoza versus Bronson Reed, North American champion, and MSK, the tag team champions.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really crazy about this match. I really wanted a like one on one between Escobar and like Bronson Reed here. I feel like that would have been great, but and I feel like it makes this thing really predictable on top of that. Um, because obviously I think they want to like protect E- Escobar here, so obviously it's either going to be like Wild or like Mendoza eating the like pin here. So I'm sure it will be a like really good match, but overall interest level not as high as 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 like for me that as it could have been if it was just Reed versus Escobar here. Mhm.
Uh, yeah, I see your point. I just still think it's just going to be one of those crazy matches with
Oh yeah,
MSK
yeah,
and Wild and Mendoza doing stuff. I think obviously S4 and Reed are going to do some good stuff. Um, I, I wondered if this was if they're hot shotting this because shocker, they're actually having another. There's another tag team feud going between what looks like um, Thatcher and Champa and grizzled young veterans
hmm
fighting about trying to become champions. So actually, like two teams are fighting each other to face the champions
hmm
instead of the challengers facing the champions, beat the champions to face the champions.
yeah. It's
What a novel concept. Um,
uh,
so
I'm like
that was good to see.
Monday Night Raw. on logic there, man. Like
but
it's
it's not. So there's good feud, and I like the Thatcher Ciampa stuff and Christian veterans from this past week. Um, so that's good. So maybe a hot shot to have that, but yeah, it should be a good match. But I can get you. I understand where you're coming from there. Um, Next, we got women NXT Women's Championship: Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon.
yeah. Actually, this is probably the like one match I am like really looking forward to on this card. Although I don't think there's a chance in hell we are getting a title change here.
So
Like I'm just glad that they're finally starting to use Ember in more serious spots here. I mean, like, no offense, but just seeing her in a tag team with the NXT Women's Tag Titles when they really only have two tag teams. Same issue with the with the like main roster titles there. So I fully expect like Raquel is going to be going over. I hope we get a little bit of a tease on where things go after the show. Like um let me ask you this. How have things been between her and like and Dakota Kai? Has there been any tension between them at all?
I don't think anything really noticeable.
Okay.
If there is, from what I remember, it's nothing like you watch it and go, "It's going to happen." Like, come on.
It's not
It's
like
if there was any, no, it wasn't obvious. If there's
okay.
anything, it's really not obvious.
Okay,
The only thing, they,
okay, so it's not like a like Champa and like Johnny situation where like you could clearly tell eventually that is gonna happen, you know.
yeah, no, because the only thing that might fuel, like, maybe even not, because Ember faced Dakota this past week, and
Hmm.
Ember won. Obviously, you're not going to have her lose, but I don't see it like anything obvious yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
could it come down the pike? Probably,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Because they teased because Io Shirai is back.
Yeah, but it looks like she's gonna be feuding with Candice and
Candice. They did do a slight
yeah.
um, tease, the nod, because when Io came back, Raquel was there. Because I
Hmm.
think it was right before their match.
Hmm.
They had a little stare down and they walked away. Maybe it's just nodding to the fact that hey, they did fight before, instead of like
I'm
strictly for the
if I had to guess, that could be what they're gonna be doing for the SummerSlam weekend takeover there. I feel like they're gonna be putting that on the like back burner for now, which is honestly
that's the
it's a
right
smart
choice.
thing for that there.
It's
So
good you put it out. Yeah, it's good to put it out there. If you want to go back to it, you can go back to it. You
right.
got the you have the seed in case if you want to. But as a good knowledge, like, hey, this happened. We're
Right.
not forgetting that this happened.
No.
Um, but I don't. Yeah, the tension. I didn't say anything really obvious that I can remember. Um, yeah, that should be good. But I am. I know this might be the next main event. Might be a could be a could be convoluted, but I still think we're going to see some good action here. Is for the NXT Championship, Karen Cross wants everybody five way against Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, and Pete Dunne.
Yeah, this was weird. I'm not gonna lie. It just I with a lot of these guys and like Sean Ross Sapp brought this up like a few days ago when in regards to Adam Cole. It's like what has Adam Cole really done to like earn a title shot, which I can agree with. And to me, if it was like any other person on NXT, I would be like really angry about it. But since it's Adam freaking Cole, you know, I, I'm not gonna complain about it because his whole thing was who has he like beaten with in the last like 3 months or like 4 months or so, which are like valid points there. I feel
I think the way they did it, he cost the match, the
right.
triple threat match,
Hmm.
knocked everybody out, and then they followed up with the great promo he did across,
Right, right.
like just tearing them to shreds, pissed them cross
Just
off.
I'm not just unfreaking dressed him. Like I was like,
But
oh
but
god.
see the difference between if this was like Monday night in
Yeah.
NXT is that okay, Regal. This is how like a Regal does the best in the authority figure
Hmm.
Israel because he comes out, he's obviously pissed, and he goes, you're not the boss of me." And Cross is like, "Shut up, I want him." And then it gets into, you know what? I want everybody. I want to beat everybody's ass.
Right.
So the way they did, it's more plot. It's I like that more than like, oh, I come back, I cost it, and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's you and versus you.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I want a title shot, and okay, you got it. But with like to me, Cole, like the promo helped. Obviously, the promo has helped sway the opinion because he
Hmm.
made valid point. It's passionate. It sounded real.
Right.
Cross is trying to come over as a badass. Like, just give me everybody. It's better than just doing it.
Right.
But the
I just
point, but the point you're making
yeah.
is I agree,
Hmm.
but it's not terrible like
No, it's
Raw
just
booking. I
no.
can buy this more than a Raw booking.
Well, yeah, but I just feel like that they could have done a better job in like at least keeping Cole relevant on TV because like really up until like what 3 weeks ago he wasn't even on like TV. So it's like, okay, we're just gonna throw him in there. So and I also gotta I also gotta say this, and it pains me to say it. Kyle O'Reilly's character is awful. Like I am not a fan of this Cole Kyle. Like you will probably hate me for saying this, but I feel like he's trying to come off as a cheap knockoff of like Orange Cassidy. Like with the freaking like jean jacket, and I'm just like he's trying to act so cool. I'm
To
like, oh,
me,
this is
to me,
awful.
what I get from him is that he's trying. For so long, he's been undisputed era,
Hmm.
and I think he's just trying to
Something
find
new. Yeah,
something to be different, and and
it's just not working.
probably, yeah, I think if he's going to use the same thing, it needs tweaked.
Yeah,
Get no, I don't. Yeah, I don't disagree with you
yeah,
uh, with there. Uh, yeah, there's like, I think he's still messing around with it.
yeah,
Uh, I think he can tell,
yeah.
because like you get like he's trying too hard to be cool,
Mhm.
and then he flips a switch, and it's like the Kyle Rally we know, and it's fine, but it's not like consistent
No,
across the board.
it really isn't. And the other guys are like Pete Dunne, and is the other Finn Balor? Oh,
Gargano.
okay, and like Johnny. To me, I really don't see those guys as like viable winners in this match. If we do see if we do see
Obvious that to me, I think it's without a doubt Cross retains
yeah,
on somebody other than Cole.
yeah. Um, if we do get a title change, the only guy I can see who could possibly win is probably Cole. Because to me,
Yeah,
I think they were also setting these seeds like, okay, we're going with Adam Cole versus Cross at some point, whether that is on SummerSlam weekend, which like
I would assume.
which wouldn't be a bad idea. I feel like they were probably laying some groundwork there. So yeah, I do think
I'm
we
assuming that's it. Yeah.
yeah, that we get
I
Cross here, and then maybe he starts to like go through all of those guys, Johnny, Pete Dunne, and and the Kyle too. So like they can really really like really like buy some time until they eventually get to Cole versus to Cole versus Cross there.
yeah. So I think as I compare to other cards in the past, I think this is not as strong.
No, no,
But I do think this is going to be a solid show, like always. I think it's going to
mm,
deliver. Um, yeah, so I don't think it's the strongest card on paper as a preview, but
no,
like I think it's gonna there's gonna be some cool moments. I believe
yeah,
on this show, and it's a good little um, bump in the road before we get the SummerSlam
yeah. And
closer to SummerSlam.
And speaking of SummerSlam, we did have that officially announced that is going to be at Allegiant Stadium, in like Las Vegas. Our friend Eric, he's going to be there, and he is just absolutely psyched. Um,
I bet, yeah.
for that. Like, I mean, like, and all indications are we are getting Cena versus Reigns. I would imagine that's probably they're going to be starting that when Cena comes back on the first SmackDown with like fans. So I'm really intrigued to see how
I'm
the
just there
whole
for the promos.
yeah, oh, yeah, like it just
I almost give two craps about the match. I just want the promos.
exactly. But man, I mean
With
because
the
big
trash talking in the if
yeah,
they have like the ringside the camera mics on and
I know.
Reigns is trash talking and Cena's trash talking during the match.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. And to
I
me,
can't wait.
and people such as like as has like Andrew Zarian have been saying like pretty much WWE is we treating this like a like WrestleMania. So I'm fully expecting all guys such as Edge, Lesnar, all of them are going to be on the show. Like I'm hoping that we get Lesnar versus Lashley, maybe like maybe Edge versus versus Seth Rollins or something, um, or hell, maybe like they really need to pull out a home run here. Like the just this, especially on like Raw and SmackDown, they need something right now because
Raw needs more. Raw
yeah,
needs more.
yeah, but because in my opinion, even on SmackDown, with like Roman Reigns and everything everything like around him, like it's not as like good as it was like say back in like February and like January and like March there. So I'm really hoping that that with everything going on there, that will start to get some stuff that's actually consistently good outside of like Roman here.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. So I'm guessing that's about to wrap
Oh,
everything
oh,
up
like
here.
oh, like one last thing. What'd you think of like Andrade in signing with AEW by by the way, I
Um,
didn't ask you about that.
it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Um,
Sure, what's going on like your side of things, but you're like really lagging right now.
oh, apparently, internet connection. It says internet connection's unstable for some reason. It popped up, and
Okay, yeah, yeah,
what I said, what I said,
yeah,
is I have to wait and see. Interesting. We'll see
okay,
what they do.
yeah. Honestly, I was kind of surprised that he showed up so soon. Um,
That too, yeah.
and like Vegas just took the lead there. So so yeah,
Delayed here.
yeah, I'm also really interested to see what Andrade is going to to be doing. To me, I think they're going to be treating him a lot very similarly to how they treated John Moxley with the company. Just I hope he doesn't have a start like a Miro did, and
Oh,
and we just go straight into him like just being at the top of the card there. So yeah, we will pay attention for that. And yeah, Matt, I think that'll pretty much do it here then. So yeah,
so like yeah, so like how was that? Oh, so like always, like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate that. Um, so I think I'm still working on, as some of you may know, if you follow the world of video games, E3 is this. Well, it starts today, goes through Tuesday. Nintendo's direct presentation, I believe, is Tuesday afternoon. I think we're gonna get. I'm working on trying to get our friend Eric uh, to come on and talk about it, co-host that. We'll see. Um, again, still working on details. It starts at 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific, so he'll be getting up at 9. Um, so we'll see. I don't know. That's a work in progress. Doing a live stream of that, live reaction. So stay tuned for that. Uh, but like always, every Saturday is our new episode at 3 o'clock here on the channel. And next week will be episode 90. Probably more Loki talk. Um,
hockey.
play hockey talk, more wrestling news. Um, maybe that. Who knows? Uh,
and and also I believe like hell I believe like hell Hell in a Cell is also like next weekend, so we can probably talk a little bit about that.
that
Yeah,
totally forgot. So that. That's 90 next week. But until then, that's John up on top. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.